However, to sound the caveat that in human rights practice, what matters is not the enumeration of rights per se, but their actualization in real life situations. That was 5 years ago. Yes. 5 years later, has anything improved?
Yes and no, in two ways. Number one is starting in 2023, 2024, we started seeing a situation whereby there is a clawback on civic and political rights that many times you were assuming they were a given, and probably we would not go to an era where the human rights state, as was desired by the makers of the 2010 Constitution, would be under severe threat. And therefore, on account of these, you've had constant resort to a critical right known as right to fair trial and the right to habeas corpus. And this has been brought about by abductions. So that we have had that challenge of abduction and high-handedness by the police. But we have had a very good response by the High Court, particularly in Nairobi, and I commend the judges who sit in the Constitution and Human Rights Division, because there are a number of people whom I know personally who would actually have been killed had it not been for the vigilance by those judges and the High Court. And therefore, in one sense, the Constitution has stood up for people under duress. But also the other issue is that there are social and economic rights. During the time of President Uhuru Kenyatta, you had situations whereby people like pregnant women, the elderly, and the youth had their rights expanded, in the sense that when you give education and good capitation, when you give good health rights to many people, and in an expanded manner like Linda Jamii, those are rights that are called socio-economic, that are in our Constitution. But now you are seeing, probably out of economic incompetence, a situation whereby there is rollback. Because if 22,000 for secondary school students was given about 5-6 years ago, you cannot be able to understand how we are now being told it might go to 16 or 14,000 when inflation has gone up. So that we may not be having free primary education and secondary education in years to come. And again, the other bigger troublesome issues is that terrorism charges, they were originally meant for actual terrorists. But you've seen the weaponization of the Anti-Terrorism Act, so that people who are just normal political agitators, reformists, political actors, being charged under the Anti-Terrorism Act. This is a severe challenge to Kenya's status as a viable constitutional democracy. And of course, you get the situations whereby people like Aden Duale, Oscar Sudi, where a lot of these people are saying that we shall have to get Ruto re-elected by hook or crook, and we may get a 2007 moment. So you get the impression that bad as today's human rights situation is, that it might probably get worse, and this should be worrisome. So I would say, I really hope the Constitution, because both the text, as long as the judges, as I keep saying, they stand tall and their individual and collective conscience is not dead and they want to do their job, I believe it is possible for the Constitution of Kenya to be a safeguard. Finally, I celebrate on this 15th anniversary the fact that we have a new constitution. Many times I ask myself, you have President Ruto as president and you have June 25. Imagine having that scenario under the old constitution. It could have been worrisome. So I am actually happy, because it's sometimes in the worst case scenario that you actually see, like there is some line of defense that has been offered.
Yet the Constitution is supposed to be our guide in everything. There are those who argue that the political class, simply because they